We often think of our feline companions as independent, aloof creatures, but what if I told you they possess a connection to unseen energies, something more profound than we realize? You may have already noticed how your cat sometimes stares into empty spaces or refuses to enter certain areas of your home. Ever wondered what they might be sensing? In this video, we're about to dive deep into the mystical world of cats and their ability to warn us of bad things, bad energies, unfortunate events, or even impending danger. Let's journey together into a realm where cats are not just pets but spiritual guides, alerting us to things beyond our normal perception. Now, you might ask, how can a cat possibly warn me about something? I was skeptical too, until I began to notice certain patterns. Cats are creatures of energy. They don't merely live with us, they tap into the subtle currents that flow around us, energy flows that most of us are unaware of. The ancient Egyptians worshipped cats for good reason. In their view, cats were protectors, able to detect and dispel negative energies that could harm their human companions. Let's start with something simple. Have you ever noticed your cat acting strangely right before something bad happened in your life? Maybe your cat avoided you for days, refusing to sit near you as it usually would. Or perhaps it hissed at nothing, stared blankly at the air, or knocked things over for no apparent reason. These behaviors are not random. They are signals, warnings from a creature attuned to vibrations we can't perceive. It's important to pay attention to these subtle cues. Cats have an instinctual ability to sense danger, but not all dangers come in the form of physical threats. Some dangers are spiritual. A friend once told me a story about her cat, who suddenly began sitting at the front door every night, hissing and growling. She dismissed it as odd behavior, assuming the cat had heard a stray animal outside. Days later, her apartment was broken into, and she realized that her cat had been warning her all along. This is no coincidence.
Click subscribe to this channel to get more profound spiritual lesson.
What about the moments when you notice your cat avoiding certain spaces in your home? This too is significant. Cats often avoid areas where the energy is heavy, dark, or even harmful. Have you ever wondered why they choose one room over another, or why they insist on perching in specific spots? It's not just about comfort, it's about energetic alignment. Cats feel when there is a disturbance in the flow of energy, whether it be caused by a person, an object, or even an event that hasn't happened yet. For example, some people believe that cats can sense impending death. While this might sound extreme, there are countless reports of cats behaving strangely around people who are soon to pass away. This behavior could be because they are detecting the shift in life force or the presence of spiritual entities preparing for a transition. But what does this mean for you? Should you start fearing every unusual action your cat takes? Not at all. Instead, I want to guide you to develop a more intuitive relationship with your cat. Begin by observing them closely. When they act differently, ask yourself, is something shifting in my life? Am I missing something that my cat is trying to show me? Here's where it gets more profound. Cats don't just warn us of physical dangers, they alert us to emotional and spiritual turbulence. Have you ever noticed how a cat will snuggle up to you when you're feeling down or anxious? That's not a coincidence. They sense your emotional state and often try to intervene before things spiral. In fact, their purring is not only calming for you, it's a form of healing energy that they emit to bring harmony to your body and spirit. This is why it's important to honor your cat's presence. When they choose to be around you during tough times, they're offering you more than comfort, they're aligning their energy with yours to bring balance and protection. It's almost as if they are working as spiritual bodyguards, warning you of the dangers within yourself, the doubts, the anxieties, the negative thoughts that can manifest as real problems in your life. And let's not forget how they interact with other people who come into your home. Cats have an uncanny ability to sense the energy of strangers. If your cat suddenly becomes agitated or refuses to interact with someone who has come into your space, take note. It's often said that cats can see through facades and detect when someone has ill intentions or harbors negative energy. Think about this for a moment. How many times have you dismissed your cat's behavior towards a guest, only to later discover that this person was not as they seemed. Let me ask you something deeply personal. Have you ever had a gut feeling that something was wrong, but you ignored it? Maybe your cat was also trying to tell you something at that very moment. In many ways, your cat's behavior is an extension of your intuition, acting as a mirror for what you might be feeling on a subconscious level. But here's where it gets even more fascinating. Some ancient traditions believe that cats can actually absorb negative energy. When they curl up on your lap or sit in the corner of a room, they're not just resting, they are clearing the space, neutralizing harmful vibrations, and ensuring that your environment remains spiritually safe. In essence, they are protectors of your home's energy field. We have to begin to look at our relationship with cats in a new light. They are not just companions, they are spiritual partners. In many ways, they are more attuned to the universe than we are, because they are not clouded by human distractions, fears, or ego. They simply exist in a state of awareness, constantly scanning the environment for disturbances in the energetic field. Now, I want you to reflect on this. Are there moments in your life where you've ignored warnings both from yourself and from your cat? What would have happened if you had paid closer attention? Often, our instincts guide us, but we rationalize them away. What if you treated your cat's behavior as an extension of your own spiritual intuition, listening when they warn you of danger, whether it be physical, emotional, or spiritual? Now that we've begun to explore how cats serve as spiritual protectors and guides, let's go even deeper into understanding the energetic connection they share with us. This isn't just a whimsical idea, there is a very real, profound bond between cats and their human companions that transcends the physical realm. The more you understand this bond, the more you can tap into it as a source of guidance and protection in your life. Have you ever felt an inexplicable sense of calm just by being around your cat? It's not just because they're soft or comforting. Cats are like spiritual tuning forks. They harmonize the energy in their environment, and in doing so, they create a sense of peace. They are constantly reading your energy, aligning themselves with your emotional and spiritual state, and subtly influencing your inner world. Think about the last time you were stressed or anxious. Did your cat come to you, perhaps even purring softly by your side? That's not random. They're offering you their energy, trying to balance out the discord within you. There's a hidden language that exists between cats and humans, one that isn't spoken but felt. When your cat looks at you intently or curls up beside you during a difficult time, it's sending you signals. Cats don't just react to our emotions, they absorb them. This is why they often seem to disappear when things get tense. If there's too much negative energy in a space, a cat will retreat. It's their way of self-preservation. But when they sense that you're open, that you need them, they come back, ready to help balance the energy around you. Let me ask you a question that might feel unsettling. When was the last time you trusted your intuition? Not just a fleeting thought, but a deep gut-level feeling that something was off. Now think back. Was your cat behaving strangely during that time? More often than not, they mirror our deepest instincts, those gut feelings that we sometimes suppress or ignore. I remember a story shared by someone who had a close relationship with her cat. She was going through a major life decision, contemplating a job offer that seemed perfect on paper but felt wrong in her gut. Her cat, who was usually affectionate and always by her side, started avoiding her, even hissing whenever she approached the phone or laptop to check on work emails. She brushed it off as odd behavior, but when she finally declined the job, the cat instantly returned to its calm, loving self. It was as if the cat knew the decision was wrong before she did, and was warning her through its actions. This brings us to an important point. Cats do not judge by appearance, they judge by energy. They don't care how successful, friendly, or charming someone appears to be. They see beneath the surface, straight into the energy field of a person. And when they sense something is wrong, they will react, whether it's by avoiding that person, becoming agitated, or simply refusing to stay in the same room. Have you noticed how your cat reacts to new people who come into your home? Pay attention. Cats are extremely sensitive to energy changes. and they will often be the first to warn you if someone brings negative energy into your space. In fact, in many cultures, it's believed that cats can see beyond the physical realm into the spiritual plane. So when a cat acts up around someone new, it might be sensing something you cannot. And it's not just people they react to. Cats are also highly attuned to changes in the environment. You might notice them staring into corners, watching something that doesn't seem to be there. Many believe that cats can see entities, spirits, energies, or otherworldly presences that are invisible to us. Whether or not you believe in the supernatural, there's no denying that cats have a heightened sense of awareness. If your cat is repeatedly avoiding certain areas of your home or acting nervously in specific rooms, it's worth considering what might be energetically off about that space. But let's go beyond the metaphysical for a moment. On a more practical level, cats are incredibly in tune with their surroundings. They pick up on subtle vibrations, small sounds, and even chemical changes in the air. When a storm is approaching, for example, they often become more alert, sometimes even agitated. This is not unlike the way they react to bad energy. They sense the disturbance before it fully arrives. So when your cat starts acting strange, don't be quick to dismiss it. There might be more going on than meets the eye. Another powerful example of a cat's warning abilities comes from their reactions to health changes in their humans. There are stories of cats alerting their owners to serious health issues, cancer, for instance, long before any diagnosis was made. They do this by picking up on the subtle changes in your body's energy. Whether they can smell it, feel it, or simply sense it is up for debate. But the truth is, they know. There's even scientific evidence suggesting that animals, including cats, can detect illnesses through chemical changes in our bodies. So, what can you do with this knowledge? How can you harness the wisdom your cat is offering you every day? The first step is awareness. Start paying closer attention to your cat's behavior. When they act unusually, ask yourself, is there something in my life that's off? Is there something I'm ignoring or not dealing with? Often they are reflecting back to you what you're not willing to face. The second step is to trust. Trust your cat's instincts as much as you trust your own. In fact, in moments of uncertainty, your cat's behavior could be a valuable guide. When they avoid someone or something, take it as a sign to proceed with caution. When they stay close to you, especially during difficult times, recognize that they are offering you their energy, balancing, healing, and protecting you. Finally, deepen your bond with your cat through mindful presence. Cats are creatures of the moment. They do not dwell in the past or worry about the future. They exist fully in the now, and by spending time with them truly present, without distractions, you can begin to align with that energy. In doing so, you'll not only strengthen your connection with your cat, but also with your own intuition. Reflect for a moment. How often are you truly present? If you're like most people, probably not as often as you'd like, but your cat is. And by observing them, learning from them, you can begin to bring that sense of presence into your own life. This is one of the greatest lessons a cat can teach us: to be aware, to be present, and to trust in the unseen. As we continue our journey into understanding how cats warn us of bad things, we must delve even deeper into the unseen world that they are so intimately connected to. You see, cats exist in a space between worlds, caught between the physical and the spiritual, the known and the unknown. They are creatures of mystery, and they invite us to see the world through a different lens. But what if I told you that by paying closer attention to your cat's behavior, you could tap into that unseen world yourself? Imagine this: you walk into your home, and everything feels the same, normal, but your cat starts acting strangely, hissing, avoiding you, or staring intently at a corner of the room. You might shrug it off, thinking they're just being odd. But what if, in that moment, your cat is sensing something that you can't? What if they're trying to warn you of an energetic shift, a disturbance in the balance of your space, or even a subtle change in your life that hasn't yet surfaced? The truth is, we often live in a bubble of logic, dismissing things that seem irrational. We rely on what we can see, touch, and measure. But the world of energy and intuition is just as real. And your cat, they are masters of this world. They feel the shifts in energy that you can't. They sense the vibrations of coming changes, be they positive or negative. Let me share with you a personal story that deeply resonated with me. A friend of mine went through a traumatic event, something that shook the foundation of her life. In the weeks leading up to it, her normally affectionate and calm cat began to behave erratically. The cat refused to sit in its usual spot near her. It avoided certain areas of the house and even stopped eating for a short time. My friend didn't understand what was happening. She thought the cat might be ill. But after the traumatic event occurred, the cat's behavior returned to normal, as if it had been preparing her for what was to come. In hindsight, it was clear the cat had sensed the impending shift in energy long before my friend had. Now, you might wonder, what can I do with this knowledge? How do you apply this awareness in your everyday life? The first thing you need to do is open yourself to the idea that not everything can be explained by logic. Trust your cat's instincts, even when they don't seem to make sense. When your cat behaves oddly, consider it a signal, an invitation to look deeper, to become more aware of your surroundings, your emotions, and your energy. Ask yourself this deep question: what if I stop dismissing the subtle signals in my life? You see, it's not just about your cat warning you of external dangers or bad energies. It's also about the inner world, your emotions, your thoughts, your spiritual state. Cats are incredibly intuitive beings. When you're out of balance, they notice. They might become clingier, seeking to comfort you, or they might distance themselves, reflecting the chaos within you. In this way, your cat acts as a mirror to your inner self. One of the most profound things I've learned through my own spiritual journey is that animals, especially cats, can sense when we are on the verge of a major transformation. They know when we're at a crossroads in life, even when we don't. Their behavior often shifts right before we experience a significant change, whether it's a personal crisis, a new relationship, or a career shift. In many ways, they are attuned to the vibrational ripples that occur before big events in our lives. Have you ever been on the brink of a decision, feeling conflicted or unsure, and noticed your cat acting out of character? This is not a coincidence. Your cat is sensing the energy surrounding your indecision, and they are trying to communicate with you. They want you to pay attention. Their warnings might not always be about external danger. They could be pointing you toward your own internal conflict. Here's where the lesson gets even more powerful. By becoming more attuned to your cat, you can also begin to tap into your own intuition. Your cat's ability to sense danger, negative energy, or impending change is not separate from you. You share an energetic bond. When they react, it's because they are picking up on something that you, too, are capable of sensing. If only you'd listen. Let's go even further. There is a growing belief in certain spiritual traditions that cats act as gateways to other dimensions. That's why, in moments of heightened spiritual activity, whether it be meditation, deep emotional healing, or energetic shifts, cats often become hyper-aware. They might seem restless or intensely focused, staring into space as if they see something you can't, and perhaps they do. Reflect on this. What if your cat is not just sensing things, but actually interacting with energies or beings from other realms? In ancient cultures, cats were revered as guardians of the spiritual world. They were seen as protectors, not just of homes, but of souls. This idea persists today in many parts of the world. Cats, with their mysterious behavior and quiet presence, are often thought to be spiritual messengers, guiding us through transitions and alerting us to unseen dangers. Now, this might seem far-fetched, but even science has begun to explore the idea that animals, particularly cats, may be capable of perceiving things humans cannot. Their heightened senses allow them to detect subtle changes in the environment, but it's possible that they also have access to a deeper, more intuitive level of understanding, one that taps into the very fabric of reality. So what does this mean for you? It means that by observing your cat's behavior, you can begin to cultivate your own sensitivity to energy. You can start to recognize the shifts happening around you, whether they are subtle emotional changes, shifts in your relationships, or even energetic disturbances in your home. Your cat is showing you the way. But you have to be willing to listen, to watch, and to trust. Here's a practical exercise for you. The next time your cat acts unusually, don't just dismiss it. Pause, take a moment to reflect on your surroundings. What is happening in your life right now? Is there a decision you've been putting off? Or is there someone in your life whose energy feels off? Or perhaps there's a space in your home that feels heavy or stagnant. Use your cat's behavior as a clue, a key to unlocking what might be hidden beneath the surface. In the end, it's about developing a deeper connection with the world around you, a connection that is intuitive, spiritual, and grounded in trust. Your cat, in many ways, is a bridge between the seen and the unseen, the known and the unknown. They are here to guide you, to protect you, and to warn you of the bad things that might come your way. But they can only do so if you are willing to listen. Let me leave you with this final question. What if you started living your life with the same awareness and intuition as your cat? What would you discover about the world around you? And more importantly, about yourself?